Before we begin, please subscribe and like this channel so you never miss a new true story. My daughter sent our secret distress code at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, and I knew everything was about to change. The code was simple. 3 words we'd established years ago when she was 16, and I wanted her to know she could call me from anywhere, anytime, without explanation. Dad, the roses. It meant trouble. Real trouble. The kind that needed me, not questions, not judgment, just me. I'm Marcus Webb, and I'm 63 years old. I built a successful commercial real estate firm in Atlanta over 40 years, from nothing, from my father's carpenter's hands to my own signature on 7-figure deals. I've got a corner office on Peachtree Street, a portfolio that keeps growing, and a reputation for being fair, sharp, and unshakable. People know my name. They know I keep my word. What most of them don't know is that I've learned patience is a weapon far more valuable than anger. I called my daughter back immediately. "Daddy." Her voice was small, tight with fear. "He's drunk. He's saying terrible things about you, about Mom. He's saying things that aren't true. And when I told him to stop, She stopped, breathed. "I'm leaving. I'm at a hotel. But I need you to know what he's been saying." That's when she told me. My son-in-law Derek had been spending the last 6 months poisoning my daughter against me, against her entire family. He'd convinced her that I'd been unfaithful to her mother during their marriage, a lie so brazen it would have been comical if it wasn't so calculated, that I'd manipulated her inheritance to steal from her brother, that I'd built my business by cheating black contractors out of their money. The worst part? He'd been doing it slowly, methodically, planting these seeds during late-night arguments, during moments when he had her isolated, vulnerable. And the reason? Because Derek had asked me for money 6 months ago, $150,000 for a business venture. I'd said no. Not because I couldn't afford it. I said no because Derek doesn't work. He's never worked. He lives off my daughter's inheritance from her mother, drinks too much, and spends his days playing poker with men I wouldn't trust with my shoes. I told him the truth calmly. "Derek, I love my daughter, but I won't enable her husband's dependency. If you want money, build something. Earn it." He never forgave me for that. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my study with a glass of water. I don't drink, never have. And I thought about Derek. I thought about how he'd moved into my family like a virus, quiet and slow, until the damage was already done. I thought about my daughter, who'd inherited her mother's good heart, but not yet her mother's wisdom about reading people. My wife, Sarah, had been gone for 3 years. And sometimes I wondered if she was watching this mess from somewhere, shaking her head at the snake we'd welcomed into our home. But here's what I didn't do. I didn't call Derek in a rage. I didn't confront my daughter with accusations. I didn't get lawyers involved immediately. I simply watched. I listened. I learned. Over the next 3 months, I discovered things. Through a private investigator, yes, I hired one, and no, I'm not ashamed, I learned that Derek had been lying about his entire past. The business venture he'd wanted money for. It was to pay off gambling debts. Deep ones. The kind that attract dangerous people. I learned he'd been messaging other women while married to my daughter. I learned he'd taken out a credit card in her name without permission and run up $23,000 in debt. And I learned that he'd been telling my daughter these lies specifically to drive a wedge between us so that when I eventually cut her off financially, she'd blame me instead of him. The beautiful part, I didn't share any of this with my daughter, not yet. I simply made phone calls, quiet ones, to my lawyer, to my accountant, to the bank, to my business partner of 30 years. I established a separate trust for my daughter, completely legal, completely airtight. that would protect her inheritance and ensure it couldn't be touched by her husband's creditors or his schemes. I updated my will. I documented everything the investigator found and had it sealed, ready to be opened if needed. I called a man I knew at the Georgia Bar Association and had a quiet conversation about Derek's activities, not to destroy him, but to ensure there was a record. And then I did something else. I called my daughter's brother, who works in banking, and gave him the full picture. My daughter called me in week 4, crying. Derek had hit her. Not hard enough to leave visible bruises, but hard enough. And that's when I made my move. I had my lawyer send Derek a certified letter. It outlined in precise legal language every discovery we'd made: the credit card fraud, the gambling debts, the infidelity, the lies. It stated clearly that if he did not voluntarily leave my daughter's home and agree to a divorce settlement within 14 days, I would file separate reports with the police, the district attorney's office, and the Georgia Bar Association. Because yes, Derek had been impersonating a lawyer on social media using credentials he didn't have. The letter was professional, cold, and devastating. Then I sat down with my daughter. I didn't lecture her. I didn't say, "I told you so." I simply told her the truth, all of it. And I gave her the investigator's report. I told her that her mother's trust would keep her secure, that her brother was ready to help her, and that I would support her through whatever came next. But I also told her something else. Baby, I need you to understand something. I'm not angry at you, but I'm not going to pretend this didn't happen. And I'm not going to let someone use you to hurt our family. Love isn't blind. It's just sometimes slow to see. Derek was gone within 10 days. The divorce took 8 months. My daughter's inheritance was protected. The credit card fraud was reversed. Derek's fake law credentials were exposed, and his little online scheme collapsed. He left Atlanta, and last I heard, he's living in his mother's basement in Birmingham, which feels like poetry. But here's the thing people don't understand about real revenge. It's not about winning. It's about refusing to lose. It's about protecting what's yours without becoming the villain in the story. It's about walking away with your dignity intact and letting karma do the rest. My daughter called me on the day her divorce was finalized. She said, "Dad, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't believe you." I told her, "You don't owe me an apology. You owe yourself the promise that you'll trust your instincts next time. That's all I ever wanted for you." These days, she still calls me Dad, the roses sometimes, even when nothing's wrong. It's become our inside joke, our reminder that we're connected by something stronger than anyone else can break. My son-in-law thought he could come between us by appealing to her doubt, by making her feel like she had to choose between him and her father. He didn't understand that we don't work that way. That family, real family, is a wall that outsiders can't crack unless we let them. And we never let them. True story.